Hello and welcome to the Bike Show. A bit later on we'll have our usual roundup of all the best products and events that are happening in South Africa in the coming months. Donovan gives us a type of a riding tip, and we'll introduce a new long-term bike to the Bike Show fleet. But first, the bike that Matt is going to test now. He's been drooling over this bike for months and months, knowing that it was coming and he was going to test it. So what does he do? He only takes it to the most inappropriate road you can think of.
This is KTM's updated Superduke R. It is a naked bike. It has no wind protection, and therefore highways are this bike's least favourite place. Having said that, at least the Superduke now has cruise control, so you can always have a little snooze if the highway is as boring as this one. Let's not beat around the bush here. The Superduke is a mental bike. Or maybe I should say the Superduke is a good bike with a properly insane engine. There's the usual KTM trellis frame, top quality suspension and braking, and more than enough electronics to keep the PlayStation generation happy. Wheelie control, launch control, throttle response, traction control, cornering ABS, quick shifter, keyless ignition and smartphone connectivity are all very nice to have, but they all pale into complete insignificance next to this bike's 1.3-litre V-twin. Those two cylinders are good for 175 horsepower, and that's undoubtedly a lot. However, it also generates a stonking 140 newton meters or more of torque, 100 newton meters of which is available from just above tickover. If those numbers don't actually mean anything to you, it basically means this bike could tow your house down the street. The instant acceleration in any gear at any RPM means that you never really need to change gears via the new quick shifter. It piles on speed as rapidly in 6th as most big bikes do in 4th gear. This much grunt is addictive, but it's also a challenge for the traction control. No bike needs TC more than this, especially since standard rubber is Metzler's M7, and they're more touring than they are sports. In track mode, which is an option that you'll definitely want to go for, you can adjust the 9-way traction control on the fly or use the straightforward launch control. The track mode also, very importantly, lets you remove the wheelie control. And of course, big V-twins mean big torque. All this mad fun in a straight line is fantastic, but what about the corners? No worries there, the Superduke feels like a big bike and it takes some commitment and effort to get through the tight stuff, but it's definitely more planted in the fast corners than last year's model.
Braking is fantastic. We've got these Brembo M50 calipers, radial monoblocks. You find them on a lot of bikes these days. Get more powerful brakes, but I bet you can't get any brakes that have got more feel than that.
Even though KTM themselves christened this bike the Beast, and even though it has this monstrous legend of an engine, the Superduke R can be a pussycat of a bike. With all the electronic aids and with a gentle right hand, this will happily make an everyday commuter. This is madness with a practical, sensible side. An axe-wielding nutter of a bike that also likes to help little old ladies cross the road. If you like naked bikes and you're into V-twins, the Superduke R is your little piece of heaven on earth.
Well, it's pretty clear that you like that bike, so let's go straight to the spec box, because obviously you've given it 10 out of 10.
No, I haven't.
No?
It's 9 out of 10.
9?
Where has it lost a point?
I don't think we can ignore the fact that, yes, we're very grateful that it's got the auto blipper gearbox on it. It's just not as good and as smooth as some of the competition. It's
a little bit clunky, isn't it?
Especially at low RPM. All these things are quite good when you rev them, but...
It is a bit industrial, isn't it?
It is, industrial is a good, yes. It should be found in a big factory or somewhere. Yeah, banging massive pieces of iron together. What else didn't I like? Well, the standard tyres, I think, the Metzler's.
But you can change those.
You can change those, but that's still what it.
It's not the fault of the bike.
There is a problem though with tyres, isn't there? Because that amount of torque, that amount of performance, if you put sticky rubber on, you'll be down the tyre shop every other week.
This is true. Yes.
But there again, with that amount of torque, and you need grip. So I would go with more grip and sod the tyre
Yes
longevity.
and no, but I still think the majority of Superduke buyers are not track orientated. Yeah, can do the track, but most of them are just going to do the road.
I'd still rather have the extra grip on the road. I really would.
All right,
I really would.
Okay.
So that's why it's and you're going to laugh at me, but it's got cruise control. Great.
Yeah.
It doesn't have heated grips.
Oh, bless.
Oh, come on! If you're going to do all these electronics, then
Why don't they give it a nice big screen also?
Yeah, and
like
maybe
big
it should
steering
maybe a cup of
and
tea on
heated
the- on
well,
the-
why has it got cruise control?
Because why not?
Well, then why can't it have heated grips? I tell you what, you'll use heated grips a damn sight more than you'll use cruise control.
Yeah.
You really will. Otherwise, it's utterly stupid. Actually, you know what?
Oh, here
You
we
know
go.
what?
Here we
Oh,
go.
boy.
I think I'm going to knock another point off.
What?
Only 8. It's an 8 out of 10.
You kidding
Yes,
me?
I've decided
You
it's
had
8 out
that
of-
much fun on track.
Yes.
And you're what?
Do you know why? Because KTM have gone totally insane again. And when you buy this bike standard, great, 140 newton meters, mad, it's called the Beast. It will wheelie to death. No, it won't.
What?
No, you're not allowed to wheelie. Because you have to buy the track option, which electronically allows you to disengage the anti-wheelie control.
But surely that anti-wheel is connected to the traction control.
No, they're separate systems. So
Okay.
you are stuck, unless you've got the track option where you can adjust the traction control, you are stuck with a bike.
So you buy it just in sport mode.
It will not wheelie.
And we all know how
joking.
you like to wheelie.
So who buys a naked bike called the Beast with the most powerful engine in the universe and doesn't want it to wheelie? So you've got to spend more money on the track. That's pathetic. KTM, you're insane and you deserve to be slapped about for that. That's ridiculous. In fact, it might even be 7 points for that. I'm getting on my high horse.
No, easy. Okay, so you've gone about everything that you don't like. What do
Everything.
you like?
The engine, the riding position, the electronics are brilliant. They've made it more easy to adjust on the fly, cornering ABS. It's just a fantastic, mind-bending package. At the heart of which is the engine. It's the engine, the engine, the engine, the engine.
But then we need to
And
ask,
the engine, yes.
we need to ask its competitors, is it better?
It's
Well, what
slightly
are the
different.
competitors? Most of the competitors actually are European, aren't they?
You're absolutely right. We've got Ducati's Monster, 1200
1200R, the
You've-
BMW S1000R,
Yes.
the Aprilia Tuono.
Tuono.
Which is the closest, I think. Makes the same horsepower, about 175 horsepower. Is a better track bike, but as you would say, these aren't track bikes, they're naked bikes.
The
But
number
a
of
better
people.
chassis in the Aprilia.
Yeah.
So,
So, okay, out of all those, which would you have?
well, it's obvious, isn't it? It's not the Aprilia. I'd have the KTM.
Oh, for crying
Despite all its faults and despite me wanting to make it 4 out of 10 because KTM are very, very silly people. Silly people. What a machine. You've both ridden it.
Yes, we have, and it was spectacular.
And if you had to have a sporty naked bike, which would it be?
Yeah, it would be the Super.
Sickeningly, I have to agree with you. It's
That's the most convoluted conclusion ever.
right, the
Yes.
same.
It irritates me, but what a motorbike.